What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Curry, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. All right, guys, the time has come. I've made you guys wait long enough. The shoe that we're looking at today does not drop until 2020, but you know the old saying, why wait until 2020 for what you can do today? So without further ado, let's take a look at a shoe and have a little bit of a history lesson about one of the most iconic silhouettes in Air Jordan history. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red for 2020. I don't even know where to really begin with this shoe, because if you're a sneakerhead, especially if you're a sneakerhead that was around in 1989, 1990, when this sneaker really first came onto the scene, you understand not only how iconic this sneaker is, how necessary it was for the culture, and what kind of impact the Air Jordan 5 has made. But if you don't really know much about the Air Jordan 5, let me educate you just a little bit. Now, the Air Jordan 5 debuted in 1990. 2020 will mark the 30-year anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. Fire Red was one of the very first colorways that exactly matched this colorway we're seeing in this version here that we saw of the Air Jordan 5. Since then, the Air Jordan 5 has been released more than 40 different times, and that goes for low tops, hybrids, collaborations. Some of the most iconic collaborations in Jordan brand history all were given to the Air Jordan 5. Tokyo 5s, the Dornbecker 5s, the Green Bean 5s. You had the 5 low tops for the Chinese New Year that came out. Laney 5s, Paris Saint-Germain 5s, Quad 54 5s, and on and on and on. And of course, you have the iconic colorways like the Fire Red 5s, the Grape 5s. We have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 5s that actually paid homage to Will Smith wearing them on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day, making them famous as well. The Air Jordan 5 has been everywhere from television to movies, and it all started with this one right here. Now, of course, the shoe was designed by the GOAT, Tinker Hatfield. Tinker was really starting to get in his bag because not only was he working on Jordans, but he had just come fresh off of Back to the Future Part 2, where he had designed the Nike Mag. If you guys actually notice in this shoe, there's actually a few design cues that actually pay a little bit of homage to the Nike Mag. The translucent outsole. This is the first Jordan that actually featured that clear translucent outsole. The molded heel on the back and the molded ankle collar on the back of the sneaker, if you notice, in the Nike Mag, that actually is borrowed from that shoe as well. On the Nike Mag, it's molded around the heel of the shoe as well. So the Air Jordan 5 was modeled after the P-51 Mustang fighter jet that was actually made right here in the United States, that was used in Germany for air raids during World War II. Now, Tinker felt like Michael Jordan had that same kind of tenacity, that kind of killer attitude, that killer instinct when he was on the court as well, that actually reminded him a lot of those fighter jets back in World War II. And that's where the design for this sneaker first began. Even down to the shark teeth on the lateral side of the sneaker. A lot of people call these the teeth, but don't really realize that they actually were designed after shark teeth that used to be a custom paint job on certain P-51 fighter jets. Tinker is so methodical and detailed in all of his designs that this may look on the surface like a really plain kind of simple shoe, but there's so many different design and style cues in this shoe that when you really dig into it, you realize that Tinker actually made this a pretty painstaking process to make sure that the shoe was just right. Air Jordan 5 was also one of the first shoes that offered the 3M tongue. Of course, we'll be taking a look at the 3M action on this shoe as well. And it was actually the first Air Jordan Retro that we got to enter into the new millennium back in the year 2000. All right, enough backstory. Let's look at the shoe. Starting with the upper of the shoe here. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is that this leather is nice. It's soft, and I've actually already chipped it a little bit. That's on me, but you may actually see a small scratch here at the top of the shoe. But this leather, really, really nice, really, really plush. Now, we'll tell you guys, it can crease on you. As you guys can see, there's a couple of creases on mine, and I haven't even put them on yet, but there's still a couple of creases here. It is what it is. On the toe box of the shoe here, you can probably see a little bit better. Very, very nice leather. Very plush, really premium. Going back to the lateral side of the shoe, you get the classic mesh netting. This mesh netting is really just like that OG mesh netting. It's a little frosted, actually. It's not completely translucent, but you can see through it really, really well. Very nice. You got those classic white eyelets going down the shoe, classic white laces on the shoe as well. Everything very clean, very classic. Moving down to the midsole of the shoe, again, classic OG black midsole on the shoe, white airbags with the red shark teeth on the lateral side. On the medial side of the shoe, everything again is the same. Very OG, clean, white with the black midsole, nothing different there. Classic 3M silver tongue with the stitched red Jumpman right in the middle. Very classic, very OG. Classic OG lace lock on the shoe as well. Got the Nike emblem right there, the old school Nike emblem with the old school Nike emblem on the pump inside of the clear plastic lace lock as well. On the back of the tongue, classic Air Jordan tag there. Nothing different, Everything's OG. And on the heel of the shoe, the OG fire red Nike Air logo stitched into the back of the shoe. Really, really nice. And you get the OG outsole on the shoe as well. The black with the classic Nike OG emblem printed in there with the big red Jumpman right in the forefront of the shoe as well, underneath that icy blue translucent outsole. As far as the insole of the shoe, you're gonna get a black insole with that white Nike Air OG emblem right on the heel. All right, I know a lot of you guys like to ask for production dates on the early shoes, so August 7th, 2019 to October 18th, 2019. That's the dates I'm seeing. All right, let's cut the lights out and look at a little bit of 3M on these, shall we? Boom. And there it is. So 3M action, full 3M on the tongue. Again, just like the OG versions. A lot of people were concerned that this would not have full 3M on the tongue, that it would maybe just a silver tongue, or a lot of people were actually nervous that we were gonna get a black tongue like we've seen with other Air Jordan 5 releases. But no, indeed, on this pair, you're gonna get that full 3M on the tongue of the shoe. Really, really nice touch. Look guys, this one is a no-brainer in my opinion. Everybody's gonna wanna get their hands on them when they drop in 2020. I don't see these sitting on the shelves. I see these being a very fast sellout. I'm pretty sure the Jordan brand is gonna have an amazing campaign, probably a whole bunch of highlight basketball clips from that season with Michael Jordan soaring through the air with these on to hype people up even more to make sure that they get their hands on a pair of these. I wouldn't sleep when they drop. Now, right now, the OG Air Jordan 5 Fire Red is slated to come out, I believe, in March of 2020. As we all know with Jordan brand, things move, things change, but for right now, that's when these are slated for. Personally, I think that this is gonna be one of those shoes like I talked about with the Bread 11 a couple of videos ago, that is gonna bridge the gap between OG sneakerheads that want their classic colorways and the new school sneakerheads that just wanna wear something really, really fly. These are simple enough that you can rock them with anything and look super clean, but they have enough nostalgia behind them that I know there's a lot of people with these in their collection that are getting really old, that are crumbling, the midsoles are probably falling apart, and they've been wondering when they were gonna be able to replace that pair, and sneakerheads everywhere can now unite. We're finally getting the OG Fire Reds back. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say about the shoe. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about the 2020 Fire Red Air Jordan 5 OG. Is this one that you're going to be adding to your collection, or are you crazy and for some reason you're going to be passing on this shoe? Let me know why or why not down in the comments. Oh, of course, while you're down here in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the 2020 Air Jordan 5 OG Fire Red. And until next time, I'm out.